G'day guys. So what have I got on my workbench here? I have a very old MSI, looking down here, GX60. And this particular one was just basically an e-waste purchase. We have a look at the specs down here. Hopefully they're not upside down in the video. It's this AMD A10, which is pretty not exciting. But we've got an R9 M290X. So it's got a MXM graphics card here. And right now I'm just in the process of replacing the thermal paste. We have 16 gig of DDR3L here. A MSI 128 gig, looks like potentially running RAID, or you can just have two individual ones. And here we just have a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. And this one here was brought in and the customer just wanted to sell it before they trashed it. And they mentioned that it turns on for a split second and turns off. Tries to start, doesn't, turns off, repeat. And so I purchased it for, I said, oh, I bet the only thing good for it. I didn't realise the RAM that was in here, or the other components. But for me, it was basically useful for the high wattage charger. Everything else about it wasn't overly that thrilling. So I said, oh yeah, 30 bucks. Yep, they were happy with that because it was going to go to e-waste. And I turned it on, it displayed MSI, shut off. Turns out with just a couple of minutes of testing, it has a single faulty stick of DDR3L that is causing it to crash. So took that stick out, from there it was able to boot. It did boot slowly. I'm not sure what speed the MSI runs at, but it was able to start. But essentially from here, we could be able to clean it up, probably put it back on the internet for 100 bucks, 150 bucks. This is a cheap, old, vintage gaming laptop.
My man!
And it'll probably sell just perfectly fine. So sometimes it's worth just taking a punt on older second-hand electronics. This is one that's proved to be a winner for me. Or at least so far so good. I'll need to keep cleaning off the thermal paste down here. Where this particular AMD processor is an AMD A10 5700M, which I have no idea what those specs actually equate to, as the A series in my mind was always absolutely atrocious with power usage, performance and whatnot. So I never really took much mind to them. Actually, I'll give that a quick Google. So it's not an overly thrilling processor. The A10 5700M is a straight up quad core on the pile driver based architecture, which isn't great. Also runs at 65 watts, which is actually pretty darn high for an APU or the A series that I've come across. Normally they're all extremely poor and running at 15, 20 watts. So this one running at that is quite surprising. Yeah, I do need to give this a bit of a clean as well. It does also contain a Radeon, A Radeon HD 7660D integrated into there as well. At least that's what I'm suspecting, being it's an APU. Yeah, I'm just going to go give this a quick blast with the air compressor, and I'll continue. I'm just going to replace this with some Deep Cool Z5 thermal paste. So I've just been Googling the model number printed down the very bottom here. Right next to the AMD writing at the very bottom, underneath that rectangle piece of thermal tape. Well, not thermal tape, but you know what I mean. Apparently this is a Radeon HD 8970M 2 gig model. So potentially not what it says on the front there, which would be a bit odd, being it doesn't look like this has ever been replaced. So it'd be odd to have a different model compared to what's written on the front there. I guess I'll find out when I turn this on what it actually is. And I will perform a hard drive speed test on that Because I'm umming and ahhing whether or not to replace these two with just a 500 gig SATA MX or one of these guys, which those are fairly, I classify them as premium based SATA SSDs. The DRAM on them, yeah, got some good features to them, which is better than just the standard run-of-the-mill drive you would normally see. So I'll put this back in as well. But overall, the less that I spend on it, the more that I can make from it. For something that may have cost $30 and a second-hand stick of RAM to get up and going again, I might be able to turn that into 100 Australian dollars, maybe 150. But the more that I spend on it, the less that I'll make in profit, as with all things. Put this over here, wiggle that in. Yeah, get that to the right position. These 4 screws over here, 3 of which are for the cooler. Here. 2 in here. 3 in here. And tighten them up. There we go. Lastly, connect this back up once more. Way around. There to there. Go. Keep that down there. And the one screw over here that holds it into position. Thermal paste replaced. This should run a little bit cooler. But yeah, a very old device that still may have some use for it. Anyway, that will do for today. I'll catch you later. Bye.